It's time to start. Good morning. Good morning. おはようございます。My name is MATSUMARU of Information Architecture field. And sorry for my absence last week because of my business trip. So this week we will start this class. Okay? Yes. This is the first class, so I will introduce this class firstly. Maybe in English it's okay. Japanese is maybe if you want to know in Japanese, please raise your hand anytime. It's okay. Yes, I will use English or Japanese, and mainly English. And if you want, you can ask me to speak again in Japanese. Okay. So this class aiming at learning the fundamental knowledge on robotics systematically. Because class hour is limited, so the items that seems to be useful in the future are picked up for the students who do not specialize in robotics. Because some of you are very, very interested in robotics, but many of you not so much yet. Not so much. In your future, you will not do some tasks concerning robotics and mechatronics. So I will pick up some knowledge, especially for the fundamental knowledge. For the as an engineer, I will show you. Okay. And collecting the knowledge, including the related fields with the actual problem and subject. So I want to connect the knowledge, all the knowledges not only related to the robotics field, but also some other related topic to gather to solve some problem. Try to have some custom to make use of past learning experience. So you should use all the knowledge learned previously. Okay, maybe in some cases mathematical fundamental knowledge is necessary, and also some control engineering basic knowledge is necessary, and so on. So maybe sometimes physics, sometimes electronics is necessary. So I hope you to use all the knowledge you learned should be used to for example, to prepare the homework or report. Okay. Requirement. It is desirable to have learned basic subject in mechanical engineering because this course is basically the structure for the mechanical engineering student, but it's not so much important point. So-called major dynamics. Some of you learned mechanical engineering. Yes, you know about the four major dynamics in mechanical field. Not sure. Four dynamics. What is dynamics? What is dynamics?
It's something that can be moved.
Move. Dynamics equal maybe some movement or motion, especially. And especially in mechanical engineering, mechanical engineering, there are four major dynamics. What is it? Yes, one of it is maybe なんですかね。例えばフルイドダイナミクス。流体、日本語だと流体です。流体コード。フルイドダイナミクス。For some flow in a pipe or some flow in the air or something. The flow, fluid dynamics.
And other important dynamics is heat engineering. Heat engineering. Heat engineering is very, very important for the mechanical engineering, such as some engines. Heat engineering is necessary. それから何だっけ、材料力学、material engineering for such as some link mechanism or some linkage structure, some forces is applied. When the force is applied, what is stress, what is structure or something is material engineering. And also the finally is mechanical dynamics, 機械力学, yes. Mechanical engineering is looks like this is structural condition or some, yes. The material engineering is some of the elements such as a beam, only single torsion bar is applied to the force, and what kind of stress is happened, or what kind of momentum is applied to each portion is the material engineering something. So this is a basic engineering, basic dynamics in the mechanical field. And compared with the basic engineering, this is maybe the basic. Yes. Here it is the applied engineering. Applied. Ma-san, what is applied engineering? Applied. Yes, compared with the basic, what is applied engineering?
Basic is some methods or theory in mathematics.
Yes.
But applied means the use of the theory.
Yes. Basic is mainly some theory and fundamental knowledge about each field, each subject. And applied engineering is, yes, by using this basic knowledge, apply to the practical field, practical applications, practical problems. So the applied engineering is sometimes some real problem, real subject. So the applied engineering is such as, for example, the plant engineering, space engineering, or environmental engineering, chemical process engineering, or something. So the various kinds of applied field is there in the world. So the basic knowledge should be used to solve this problem in the practical field, practical world. So the robotics is one of the applied engineering, integrating fundamental engineering and other related fields to solve the problem. It's okay? Yes. So it is preferable to learn the basic of control engineering, such as block diagram, as necessary to study more deeply. Yes. So, yes, why I say this, try to have a custom to make use of past learning experience. So maybe in the field, in practical world, many problems is there in the field, in the world. But to solve the problems, you have to use all the knowledge, all the method, all the theory you have learned. So I hope you should use all of the things you have And robotics is basically a motion control. Robotics is basically a motion control. So the robotics, some motion is controlled. Yes, I will talk you later about the mechatronics, so you can understand maybe. The world spread beyond the class infinitely. So the crossover is limited, only 14 classes remaining. So the picked up the topic is so limited, so you should learn more in deeply and spread your knowledge by searching the books and searching some knowledge on the web or something. Maybe various kinds of opportunity is there provided in this school maybe, so you can do. Remarks is a class is only an entrance to give an opportunity study. Therefore, you should be active so as to deepen your study. For example, gathering information positively with your interests and motivations. Yes, as I said, the crossover is limited, so I show only some index to run in sometimes. So you should learn by yourself as much as possible, deepen your study. Yes, questions? Okay, you can understand that. So the next is a procedure of this class. Yes, it is divided in 3 parts. Firstly is a practice. Practice is a self-inspiration about the contents related to the following class or a review of the contents of previous lectures. At the beginning of the lecture, from 15 or 20 minutes, A4 answer sheet will be provided, distributed in the class. Okay, you should reply some practice subject and give it back in the class. Okay? Yes, the second part is a lecture. As you can see, using this kind of PowerPoint, you should not only hear but also write down main points. Okay? Subject. For further study over the lecture, review the contents of previous lectures, explore the missing items at the class, and so on. And I will provide some subject as your homework every week. So received it at the beginning of the next class. A4 sheet, any A4 sheet is okay. Only using the front side, put together at the upper left corner, then multiple sheet, top on front page. You should write title, given date and submitted date, ID number, and your name. And then body text should be in a professional style. Yes, professional style should be used, but it's not so difficult. Maybe section and items is necessary, categorized into some part with the appropriate headings, titles, readings, and so on, okay? And divided in significant paragraph, well organized, consists of simple sentences, line, space, third margin, etc. to make it easy to read. So yes, you can provide any format, but you should take care of reader's viewpoint, others' viewpoint. Okay? And figures and pictures, charts and tables, if necessary, you can use. And the references must be listed in order at the end of the paper, and also with in the body text, the number should be mentioned in the body text. Yes, for example, it looks like this. maybe A4 sheet. A4 sheet. You should write some like robotics. This is the first subject, and your ID number, your name, and question 1 is some subject, and your answer is maybe you can write, but you should categorize into several parts. The 1.1 is something, you should write something. 1.2 you can write something. Okay, some headings or appropriate titles should be put on. Okay, because you can write and easy to understand what you are writing. Okay, and paragraph. Each paragraph has some meaning, maybe different meaning. So the paragraph is also important in some cases. Okay. Yes, and 2 and 3 or something, maybe, if you can, 2.1, 2.2, or ABC, small ABC is also necessary sometimes. Okay, and the reference, yes. Maybe in some cases, part 1's reference should be mentioned in the end of the part 1. Part 2's reference should be mentioned in the end of the part 2. But in some cases, the reference is listed or the end of this paper, maybe. In some cases, it's 1 something, 2 second something, 3rd something. And where it is referred, you should mention in the body text also. Okay? It's necessary thing for the, yes, this is the engineering professional style, but not so difficult to do, to follow this kind of format. Okay? Yes, when it is march proceed, you should staple over some gathered at the upper left corner. Okay? Yes, only that. Questions? Okay? Yes, here are third part. Textbook. Yes, no textbook, but because I will pick up the topic I want to talk, so the complete textbook is not there. But some references there. Sometimes you can refer the handbook. Handbook is very useful to learn the brief outline in robotics field, maybe. So the Springer is a famous publisher. Springer's handbook of robotics is published almost more than 5 years ago, and free access only from within Waseda University. You can access the PDF file of this handbook when you access from the inside Waseda Universities. Okay? And the Robotics Society Japan's Robotics Handbook, second edition, is also published about 10 years ago, but it is in Japanese. You can read this handbook at the library, over there, of that central road. You have visited this library already? Yes, maybe? So you can find this. And other books there, yes, but yes, it is, I have listed only Japanese textbook, but all of this is also there in the library. I have checked. Or at the library or Coop University Coop Shop, bookstore, online, and so on, you can find any materials, many various kind of materials related to robotics. Okay. And note, yes, I will use this PDF file. So, PowerPoint file, the PDF file will be provided. Only body except practice subject part is provided as a handout downloadable from my personal homepage. Can be accessed only from within Waseda University.
Yes, maybe you can find. Ah, ここは今ネットワークつながってない。すみません。うわ。Maybe you know the yes. この早稲田 WPA2 is provided all in the building, and you can access your email address and some password. あ、違った。email address and password maybe. 早稲田ネットポータルズID あ、違った。メールアドレス and ダメですか
You should put that 3 times the first time I tried.
あ、本当
Very weird.
Sometimes necessary. I don't know. Yes, it takes time, so skip this. Okay. Sorry. Yes, maybe you can find my laboratory's homepage and my personal homepage, and the PDF file will be uploaded there. In many cases, in most cases, I will provide before the class. So I hope you will print out and then come to this class. Okay? Yes. Questions? So maybe most important point is a scoring. Maybe scoring. So the scoring is I have mentioned in the book, the brief introduction about the book. So I mentioned the practice is 50% and the subject is 50%. So maybe the practice is including your attendance, because you will do it in the class on site, and then the subject is your homework. So half and half, I will scoring, maybe. Okay, no final examination, because I hope you should learn in usual, in any, during the lecturing period, this semester, or in this semester, you should learn not only the end of the semester. I hope usually learning is necessary, I think. Okay? Yes. So all of this, you have some. Do you have some questions? Okay. Yes, this is this semester schedule. Sorry, the first week I have cancelled, and this is today's class. What is robot, and the history and some configuration mechanisms, and this is outward appearance and actuator sensors. This is the element. Reduction mechanism and the driving part is mechanical elements, and some element to components to build the robot. And then the fundamental theory of manipulator is here. And sorry, this week's, in place of the first cancelled lecture, we have to do it in the final week of the December. Okay. And then two weeks break, and then the new year, the manipulator control, and the conclusion. Okay. I said mainly the score is decided the half on the practice and half of from the subject.
But maybe I will provide some programming subject during this winter break, 2 weeks winter break. So that if you program some the fundamental theory of manipulator, I will give some additional score maybe. Okay. Yes, programming maybe it is not so difficult. Only using the sine cosine function and so on, matrix and so on. Only that you can do. Maybe only if you can use the C language, you can program. Okay. Yes, it's okay. That is the introduction of this lecture class.